What's going on, people in internet land? Kimchi Chris here, and welcome to today's brand new episode of Rock Bliss with Kimchi Chris, where we are celebrating the 1 month anniversary of Kiss announcing their final dates for the End of the Road tour. That's right, the tour that has been going on forever, and supposedly when it's all said and done, Kiss will finally hang up their big boots and ride off into the sunset with all of the other retired rock and roll bands. And I do want to get it out there that I do know this is old news at this point, and while I did want to let the dust settle just a little bit before making an episode, life got in the way. Here we are, rock and roll, you gotta roll with the punches. Let's get into it. So we are going to look at the announcement itself. We are going to look at how people reacted to the announcement, because these are Kiss fans and they like to get their opinions out there, kind of like this guy. And then we are going to look at what we think will happen with these final dates, the final pilgrimage for Kiss fans to see their idols in person. So on March 1st, 2023, Kiss appeared on the Howard Stern Show, and there was a lot of excitement around this. Rumors were flying, information was out there. Some of these rumors were true, some of them were not, but regardless, it was out there that Kiss was on there to make a big announcement, and there was really only one big announcement left to make, and that's the fact that the End of the Road would finally be ending, and that's exactly what they did. They announced a slew of new dates, and they did announce the final 2 dates, December 1st and December 2nd in New York City at Madison Square Garden. I know a lot of people are mad because the venue only holds 20,000 or so people, and that's pretty small for a band this big for their final show. A lot of people were hoping for a stadium show of some sort, but here we are. We have what we have, 2 dates there. Of course, they're already sold out if you're watching this now and just learning this, but again, we're a month removed from all the excitement, so I don't really think this is news to anybody, but that's what they announced. Along the way, they're going to play in several places that they either have played on the End of the Road or haven't touched yet. They're going all over the place. California, Canada, Knoxville, Chicago. They just added in Nashville because they've already added a few more dates as well, which, you know, it's Kiss fans. It's made a few of them mad, but it's made most of them happy, and the ones that are in the arenas enjoying the shows are going to be having a great time, and the ones that are mad sitting in their basements at home, they're just going to be mad regardless, so you might as well have some fun at the show, right? But back to the announcement that was made. So past that, they performed a couple songs on the show. They sounded great, they looked great, they smelled great, they probably tasted great too, so it was overall a big success. Of course, Howard interviewed them, and there were some things that really stuck out, both positive and negative, because this is Kiss. Of course, they couldn't get through an interview without Gene and Paul putting down Ace and Peter, because that's just how Kiss works in 2023. Love it or hate it, it is what it is. And you, of course, have Tommy and Eric on the side just hanging out and doing what they're paid to do, and they do a great job with it. But with all that being said, the interview, by all accounts, was a success. It looked pretty great. I have not seen the full unedited version because I don't have a subscription to the radio service it's on, but I've seen many video clips on YouTube. The performances are on YouTube as well, so you can experience all the Kiss and Howard Stern you can stomach through this service that you're on watching this episode. Watch the rest of this, but then go check it out if you haven't. So what happened after the announcement? We've already kind of delved into that a little bit, but what happened? Well, a lot of Kiss fans, like myself, were very excited because we were going to see our favorite band one last time, 2 last times, maybe some people are going to every day. You know, there's some crazy Kiss fans out there. There's like one guy that owns 10 of the Gene Simmons vault. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to your bank account? I don't understand, but nonetheless, a lot of Kiss fans are out there. They're very excited. These shows sold very well. They're still selling well, and they're not all sold out or anything like that for the most part, but of course, Madison Square Garden sold out instantaneously, and there are premium tickets and resale tickets that are upwards of $10,000, and you know, it just seems like it was a very hard thing to get into. I'm not gonna lie, I was on there trying myself because I wasn't even sure I'd be able to go, but I figured if I got a ticket, I could resell it for a reasonable price. I would not have scalped it if something happened and I wouldn't be able to make it, but I couldn't get a ticket, so it is what it is. I settled for some other shows, and I moved on with my day, but a lot of Kiss fans were really mad. What a shocker. Are you surprised that Kiss fans in 2023 were mad at something? Because they're always mad. Every Kiss fan is always mad about everything for the most part. We're all very opinionated. We all start stupid YouTube channels to talk about this. We all host stupid podcasts to talk about this. We all find the other Kiss Boomer Bros in the wild and discuss this with them because Kiss fans, we're crazy. We're absolutely crazy. We're all drama queens because the band's full of drama queens, and it's insane how interactive the KISS community is. I don't know that there's another band in the world that's ever been like this as far as a fan community, and I know that it's hard to remove myself from this community because I am part of it, but I don't think there's just as much activity for most bands in the world. Even other bands that are considered more legendary than KISS, something like the Beatles or Led Zeppelin, they don't have the same type of community. Now, it'll be interesting to see if that community continues on when the band is over, but that's a subject for another day. Despite me concentrating on the negative here, most people were very excited if they got tickets to at least one of the shows. A lot of people settled for shows that were not New York, and most people were very happy. Everybody seemed to be in a good mood for the most part. Everyone I know that got a ticket to some type of show seemed quite satisfied. The prices were through the roof. Are you really surprised by that? They were expensive. These tickets were not cheap this go around. Between the regular ticket prices, the premium ticket prices, the add-on meet and greets, as well as the sound check packages and all kinds of stuff. Did you think KISS was gonna go out and give you a cheap tour for their last run of the world? If you thought that, you haven't been paying attention for the last 50 years. This is KISS. This is capitalism. This is great. Or at least that's what Gene would tell you. So regardless, they can charge what they want because people are going to pay it, and you don't have to go to the show if you're mad about it. And after the fact, there have been a few more shows added. Of course, people got mad about these as well, but again, you don't have to go to the show if you don't want to. It's as simple as that. So most people are very excited about these shows, and a few people are mad. But overall, that's what happened afterwards. People bought tickets. The shows haven't happened. There's not a ton to report on past that. Now, one thing that has been a recurring theme that continues to get brought up is the idea of something different happening at the final shows at the very least, because they didn't really highlight the fact of anything being different on this run of shows, and I can guarantee you if there's anything different, it'll be very minimal, but I think that everything will be pretty much the same. But it will be interesting to see if they do anything for those last shows that's different, even if it's just a video montage or throwing a couple extra songs in. We know that Ace and Peter aren't going to be on stage with them. At some point, Bruce had said he was in discussion to be on stage with them at the last show, but that was when the last show was supposed to take place back in, 2021, I believe, before, the pandemic ruined the world and whatnot. So I have a strong feeling that the last show really won't be that different than the rest of the tour, but I could be completely wrong. I'm really hoping that they do film the last show, maybe do a stream of it, putting it out on Blu-ray while collectors would love that, and I'm one of those. People are going to be hesitant to pre-order that if you do that because we all know what happened with KISS 2020 Goodbye. Basically, it was kiss your money goodbye. Am I right? Am I right? My jokes are inappropriate for the people that got ripped off. But in all seriousness, if they put out a product celebrating that final show down the road, I'm sure it will do pretty darn well because KISS products do pretty darn well, even if it is just the same show, because I would love to have a document of this tour. I saw this tour so many times, I would love to be able to experience it in high quality 20 years from now, because again, we know we're not getting that for KISS 2020 Goodbye. Just not happening. Remember what I said earlier about KISS fans complaining about everything? With all that being said, it is still a very exciting time to be a KISS fan, because it's always an exciting time to be a KISS fan if you truly love to celebrate the band, their heritage, and their current activities, the current activities of which will halt in December, at least for being a live entity. Now, there has been talk, and the band have alluded to this themselves, saying that they are not opposed to one-offs, be it festivals or a Vegas residency and things of that ilk, but these guys are old. Let's be realistic. They don't have that much time left in them. It's really sad to say, and I know we're all going to be very, very sad whenever any of these guys start to pass away, but there's only so much time. You aren't going to live forever. Even though KISS will live forever, because KISS is a franchise. When these guys are gone, the brand will live on, but it is going to be very interesting to see what happens after December 2nd. These guys will get bored, and who knows? And that kind of leads us into the next topic, if you will, the final topic. What's going to happen on this tour? What is going to happen? Well, we've already been discussing that. A lot of the same. That's what I think, a lot of the same. A lot of people are going to the shows, they're going to have a great time, and they're going to move on with their lives, and if this really is the last time, a lot of people are going to be really sad. I've already thought about that, kind of being curious how I'm going to feel after my last show, because despite them dragging this tour on for a very long time, which is not completely their fault because the pandemic happened in the middle, I don't know how I'm gonna feel leaving that last show. There was something about the dates before the pandemic in particular, it just didn't feel like it was the end yet. I think because we all knew there would be 3 or 4 legs of this thing in America, and that's exactly what we have ended up getting. But it really does oddly feel like it's ending now. And it is, but it really feels that way, and I'm very curious to see how I will feel when I leave the doors of my final Kiss show. And I think a lot of people are really thinking about that. Now, some people have already made their peace with that, and they already went to their show on the end of the road and it's over, or maybe they went to the last show they were ever going to go to way back on the first farewell tour, or Rock the Nation, or the tour of Motley Crue. There's lots of places that you might have ended your Kiss journey, but you know, a lot of these people, if they ended it prematurely, they always had the option to go see them. That option isn't going to be here anymore. And it's going to be very emotional, I think, for a lot of people. Especially at those New York shows. I think we're going to see a lot of grown men crying, and I'm not saying that to make fun of them, but I think some people are going to get teary-eyed and possibly even a little more so sad at those shows, because when it's over, and then what do we do after the fact? And that's going to be a topic for another episode, because I really do have a lot of opinions on that. But what will happen on the tour? Well, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a great time. People are going to have fun. Some people will complain, but a majority of the Kiss Army will show up and enjoy themselves and have a blast. Have an absolute blast. It's going to be a really, really good time. But while the shows will be exciting, this is Kiss, of course, and we talked about drama earlier. Well, guess what? Ace came out of the woodworks and was on the Eddie Trunk show and brought the drama like crazy. He even sounded a little bit crazy. I love Ace, but he didn't really sound good on that show. He sounded a little bit unhinged. And he was quite offended by some of the comments that were made about him and Peter on the Howard Stern show. He has threatened that he's going to spread a lot of dirty laundry publicly if they don't apologize to him soon, which we're getting pretty close to that date that he gave them on the ultimatum. So it'll be very interesting to see if something comes of that, because Ace is ready. He's ready to fight. He's ready to fight. He doesn't necessarily care about being on that stage, even though he did come off very money hungry on that episode of Eddie Trunk, but he's ready to fight. So it'll be very interesting to see if something happens with that. We'll revisit that here in a couple days, hopefully, especially if he does come out and spread all this dirt that he's claiming he's going to. But let's end things on a positive note, because this is the end of our favorite band, or at least most of our favorite bands. I know it's my favorite band and many of yours. So with all that being said, how do you feel about all this? How do you feel about all of this? Are you excited about these final shows? Have you already ended your Kiss experience maybe earlier on the tour, or with a different one as we mentioned earlier? And do you think this really will be the end, or do you think they're just going to keep going and 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 going? But if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Really helps out. Once again, my name is Kimchi Chris. This has been Rock Bliss with Kimchi Chris, and I will see all of you on the next episode.